going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time to wrap up round 9 of the 2024 NRL season. We had some absolute doozies this weekend. Some awesome games, couple stinkers. The last game was a bit of a stinker, I don't know why. I had a little nap during it, man. It's pretty rare for me, man. I never day nap, but yeah, that last game got me. I definitely missed about 10 minutes of that. A bit of drool came down the face, you know how it is. But let's get into it, lads. But first, Musashi. Please sponsor me because I spend so much money on these drinks. How good. Now, we'll get into the games in one sec. Just quickly, guys, I did want to touch on this. Fafita meeting with the Penrith Panthers for his get-out clause. Now, just the only reason I want to touch on this, I did do a TikTok video on it, and obviously they're quite short, so I just want to explain a bit more depth. Let me know what you think about this one too, guys, but man, I think this is going down just for a couple reasons. He's going to Sydney to meet with Penrith. That's serious. Anyone that flies into Sydney knows how annoying that airport is. You don't do it for no reason. If you weren't that serious, you just get on the blower. The fact he's going down to meet with Penrith tells me that this is going down. I don't know him, don't know them. I'm just guessing, but if he wasn't that serious about it, I dare say he gets on the blower. The fact he's going down there leads me to believe that Fafita will be a Penrith Panther next year. Just like I said this, there's some players, right, that they're just soldiers, warriors, and they love their club, and they'll get battered every week, and it's not like they don't care about the result, but as long as their performance is good, they keep the chin up. You know, Josh Jackson from the Bulldogs was one that comes to mind. He got smashed every week for the last 2 or 3 years of his career, turned up every week and just, you know what I mean, did his thing. Absolute soldier. Fafita, I'm just guessing, doesn't seem like that sort of dude. He does get pummeled and hit pretty hard just because he's one of their few genuine strike weapons, so they do usually drop another man on him, and they really target him. So he might be thinking, you know, go to Penrith. You can't target him because they'll just go somewhere else and score points and, you know, get a ring or two possibly. And just quietly, he suits Penrith style so perfectly. The way they turn under their second rowers. I was chatting to a few of the boys. I'm like, mate, it's going to be any time try score a city. You just, whatever edges he's on, you just chuck them all in, and you know it'll be pretty tough because if you don't hit him and you go out the back, there's just going to be so much space on the side. So to me, it's win-win for both teams, as for both parties, but massive loss for the Titans if they lose him. That's ugly for the old Titans if they lose him. Oof. But yeah, there's something telling me it's going down. It just really does. Just I don't know. It's just a vibe. I'm not going off anything. I don't know him or anyone down there, so we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Penrith, absolutely touching up the Bunnies 42-12. We hit our punts on this one. We actually had a pretty good weekend on the punt. I'm definitely well up for the weekend, but I'm not too sure if it was because I bet NBA too, guys. So I wasn't too sure if I was actually up in the NRL or not, or whether it was the NRL and the NBA combined. But we definitely bigger Dabble account than we had when we before the weekend kicked off, sort of thing. If you do want to follow me on Dabble, guys, it is MonsterSnag there. If you're not a member and you want to join, guys, just use the link in the bio there, or use code SNAG when you join. I believe you get a free spin and you'll automatically follow me. You can copy all my punts if you want. Do your own too. But yeah, we had a pretty good weekend on the punt. I'm doing all right in the NBA, eh? Doing all right. My NBA punting sort of like funded my NRL punting. We're doing okay on the NRL. It's just the first few weeks were tough, man. All right, so back to Penrith Panthers get it done against the Bunnies. Seagulls got run down by the Raiders. Roosters torched the Broncos. Bulldogs get it done against the West Tigers. Melbourne hold on against the Titans. Jeez, these games were crazy. Dolphins get it done against the Cowboys. Poor old Cowboys. Knights beat the Warriors, and Sharkies get it done against the Dragons. Now let's have a quick look at the ladder, guys, before we get into each team. Sharkies still out on top. Melbourne Storm in there at second. Penrith Panthers in at third, and the Dolphins sitting in there in the top 4. I think they're playing finals footy this year, lads. Fins up, baby. Just quietly on the Dolphins, I just did want to mention this. So my son plays under 14s. the Dolphins are going to be a powerhouse in the next few years, man. Like, my son's in the Broncos development, and we played. So I remember just watching the Div 3 under 14 Dolphins players, and I was like, damn, these kids are good, man. Div 3 kids. And then we're chatting, and my son sort of, I was like, oh, maybe we can go to the Dolphins next year if you like. I want him to be able to do whatever he wants. And he's like, really? I can go to the Dolphins? Like, I was like, what? I thought you don't want to be in the Broncos? He's like, oh, yeah, it's awesome, but like, in the Dolphins, I was like, whoa, like that shift, man. Like, people might want to be Dolphins, man. It's crazy. He's like, yeah, man, like the Dolphins kids, like the heck. I was like, far out, Jesus Christ. I remember it was like such an honour to be in the Broncos development sort of thing, and yeah, wow. Anyway, what do you do? Yeah, so Seagulls slipped down to 5th, Roosters up into 6th, Broncos down to 7th, Doggies still in the 8, Raiders up to 9, and yeah, geez, some good teams not in the 8. Jesus Christ, and Bunnies sitting on the bottom. Bunnies are playing the worst footy. Like, that's yeah, it's not looking good. All right, on to the Bunnies versus the Penrith Panthers. Now, Bunnies got 2. I was lucky I hit my punt in this one. Everyone missed because everyone was on Sportsbet, and Sportsbet only lets you do race to 10, whereas I like to do race to 13 points because you can get 2 quick tries. To me, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but the team that gets to 13 first normally wins. Obviously, they don't always. So I like to do race to 13 rather than race to 10. So that's why I've been liking Dabble better. It's like Sportsbet has way more markets and way more sick markets, like awesome ones. But there's a few things I've noticed they do where you're like, they don't let you do that because, you know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like you can't, like I said, there's no race to 13 anymore. Pick your own line. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really let you do that anymore. Just bits and pieces like that. That's why I've sort of gone to Dabble because, quite often, like, well, I haven't done it much this year, but, I mean, teams don't normally lose by 2.5, like less than 3 points sort of thing. It's normally 4+ sort of thing. And say a team's like, they're going to win, they're paying $1.40 or 39 or something like that. You just do a -2.5 and it brings it up to like nearly $1.60, and then you add it with something. All of a sudden you got a nice juicy bet. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think obviously Sportsbet are pretty clued on. And they've sort of got rid of a lot of those little things because they're the ones I like creating nice little double ups. And yeah, it's very hard to get a nice double up on Sportsbet now. Like, you can create a hectic multi, and you can do way crazier multis on Sportsbet. But I've been killing the double ups on Dabble, and that's sort of why I've been going to it because that's what I sort of like doing. You do 4 nice double ups for the weekend, and then you can do 4 more risky ones. If your double ups hit, if you hit 3 or 4 of those, you've paid for your risky ones. And if you get a risky 1 or 2 to hit, you're golden. You're way up for the weekend, sort of thing. So yeah, that's sort of why I've been leaning more towards Dabble lately. All right, tries to Sonny Taruva, Schneider, Garner, Lindsay Smith, Tiny May, Garner, Tago, and Edwards 7 from 7 with the boot. All right, so what's a little concerning about this is, and this is really funny, man. So it's really weird. I watched Penrith play, and a lot of people said it too, and I didn't get an argument with the guy, but I'll explain it in a minute. I didn't think Penrith looked incredible either. But then you look at it, and you're like, they won 42-12, and the 12 points they conceded, they were down a man in the sin bin. So you technically look at this, and this is an absolute hiding. Like, this is a massive hiding. Like, it was 42-0 when it was 13-13. Oh, sorry, they had a couple sin bins themselves. But you get what I'm saying? When it was full complement of guys. So you're sort of sitting there going, what do they have to do? And I was it sort of reminded me a bit of, the few analogies, I guess you could sort of say. But they're sort of, like I look at the Broncos, and like even last year we said, Broncos have the best attack. But then you're like, it looks the best, it scores a lot, blah, blah, blah. But, like, does it matter how it happens, or does it just matter what the end score is? I mean, I remember I used to have arguments with my mate. Like, my mate's a massive LeBron James, if you follow basketball. I was a KD glazer and, like, in their absolute prime sort of thing. And, You know, because I'd look at KD and his game's so beautiful, and he does this hectic crossover, and he'll just rise up over 2 7-footers and just lace this beautiful three, and LeBron will just sort of bustle in, do this ugly crossover, and just toss it up, and it goes in. But you look at their numbers, and they're pretty similar. And my mate's like, it doesn't matter how the ball goes in, bro. They both went in, and I was like, you're right. I mean, I can't argue with you. They're both shots worth 2 points just because KD's looked more beautiful, you know. And that's sort of where I'm at with the Panthers. Like, yeah, it's not nowhere near as pretty, but they're getting some solid wins, man, and without Cleary, and it's just, yeah, it was like last year. Like, their attack never looked as good as Brisbane, but I can't remember what the exact stats were. But I believe Brisbane scored more tries than Penrith, but I think Penrith scored more points. I think they had a better goal kicker, maybe. I can't remember. It was close, but I remember checking it just before the season ended, and I think it was something like that. Like, I think Broncos had scored more tries, but Penrith had scored more points or something like that. But it was close anyway. But if you just watched their attack and didn't know any stats, you'd be like, oh, Broncos' attack's substantially better. And it actually wasn't a whole heap better. But yeah, it was absolutely nuts, man. But yeah, Penrith, look, everything to me is leaning towards Penrith winning another comp. I'm not saying they're going to, but just to put it in perspective, guys, Penrith are better than they were this time last year. Penrith are substantially shorter on odds. Bookies do get things wrong, but they don't get the bet-in favourites to win the comp wrong too often. You know, they're into $3. They were $4.50 this time last year. I know because I bet on them. So I got them at $5 and $4.50 around this time. So substantially shorter, and just with Paps now down, you know, I'm not taking the Dolphins overly seriously to win the comp. I'm sure they'll be, you know, like I said, I think they'll make the 8. Roosters look good, but not fully sold on them yet. I'm getting there. And then Broncos with Reno out and stuff like that. And we'll get to the Broncos in a minute. But it's just, I just feel like their real competition has just sort of fallen away a little bit. Whereas, like, yeah, at the start of the season or a few rounds ago, I was sort of sitting there going, geez, Broncos might go to a new level here. Warriors look like they're gone to a new level. It's just a few teams just don't quite look quite as good as I thought they'd be. And Penrith, without Cleary, have just still been, they're coming third. They haven't had their best player for a lot of this. So pretty nuts, man. Yeah, so, and there was just one note I wrote down. I can't remember who it was. Maybe I can look at the play-by-plays here. Interchange. Oh no, it doesn't come up in the play-by-play. But there was a few. The tackles in the last set were just, they were as strong as the first set. Like, they're such a good 80-minute team, man. Such a good 80-minute team. It's just mind blowing. I cannot believe they're in the market to buy David Fafita. Just Isaiah Yeo too. It's so funny, man, because, you know, I've been glazing him for a while, and I always thought he was the best lock by a long way. When it's funny, I watch him play, and then I'm like, man, he's the best lock in the game. Then I watch Carrigan play. I'm like, oh, maybe Carrigan has him. And then the week after, I'm like, oh, Isaiah Yeo's the best. They're both so good. But Isaiah Yeo in this game he was just on another planet, man. He is so strong, and his footy IQ is just ridiculous, mate. Like, he is absolutely incredible, man. It actually blows my mind. Yeah, crazy. Just look, the Dylan Edwards try for me really summed up. The Dylan Edwards set-up try for Tiny May. I mean, kicked the ball dead. Edwards didn't really even, like, you know, sometimes as soon as it touches dead ball and they grab it and they just sprint as hard as they possibly can. It trickled over, and look, he picked it up timely. Like, it's not like he just stood there or anything, but it trickled over. It actually had a few rolls after it hit the dead ball line. He picked it up. He started running at a bit of pace, and he was just overtaking Bunnies players. And then he went, and just peeled it, tap Tiny May. But, like, what I don't understand is for the Bunnies, like you realise if he runs past you with the ball, you can't defend. Like, you're now out of play. Like, you're not going to chase him down. And they watched him run past them and just kept in that stride. I'm like, sprint, man. They're like, the Bunnies are broken. They're absolutely broken. Yeah, like red line through them, guys. The pen's gone through them. They won't be playing finals footy this year. Obviously not winning the comp. They're absolutely broken. And like I said, Cam Murray gone now too. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. It's yeah. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, I don't like talking too much about teams being bad, but they're bad. And another one too, Mitch Kenny. In the last 2 weeks, I've just seen some absolute origin tackles from him, just folding big blokes. I can't remember who the one was this weekend, but it was on someone heavy. Can't remember who it was. Might have been Kulamatangi or just stopped him in his tracks. And I was just like, might have even been Burgess. It was someone, and I was just like, that's an origin tackle. So I reckon his name will be in the mix for sure for origin, just especially his link with Isaiah Yeo and Nathan Cleary. Reece Robson made it last year. To me, he's better, and he has that link with the Penrith guys, so I wouldn't be surprised if his name's in the mix there. He's really good. I remember, I think it was Bloke in a Bar I was watching, and the Guru, he's bang on with most stuff, but he's like, oh, he's so slow. Bro, he kept saying, oh, he's so slow, I don't know how he's going to go. When he, when you're like right on the try line, so you're attacking and you're like a metre out from the try line, and then the dummy half scoops it up, and usually you can almost get grabbed straight away. The way he scoops the ball up and just like launches back 2 or 3 metres and then flicks his pass is crazy. Like it's really, like, it's so much harder than it looks, man. It's you see dummy halves all the time get their arm hit and stuff, and they fumble the ball, or they throw this real crappy pass because there's all this pressure on them as they're passing it. He like scoops it up, sort of double hop steps back like really quickly. It's brilliant, man. That's the sort of thing only, like, not that I'm one, but a good hooker would love. You know what I mean? It's probably something that not many people watch and go, wow, you see that double skip back to that pass? But yeah, I love the little stuff like that in the game. But yeah, brilliant. I've been rating him. Fisher Harris looked better. I said last week, probably the 2 worst games I've seen him play in a long time. And I actually didn't mind the Moses Leota off the bench either. Mark Guy got absolutely pumped coming on. He got absolutely smacked around. He doesn't look like he looks like one of those muscle bound guys that isn't really strong. Like, some skinny guys just whack, like Victor Radley, perfect example. Doesn't look gym strong at all, but when do you see him get folded? And how many times does Victor fold someone bigger than him? It's wild. Mark Guy looks like he's one of those sort of muscle-bound guys that isn't super strong, like a bit of a sitting duck sort of thing, like Bullymore and all that. But, yeah, he got absolutely pumped in this one. I thought Liam Martin was great. Fisher was good. Schneider was okay. But, yeah, this back 5 is scary. Who'd they say? Oh, yeah, someone said, I think it was in the broadcast today, that Sharks have the best back 5. I love their back 5, but you got to beat the champs to be the champs, bro. And this is the best back 5 in the game, in my opinion. This is absolutely ridiculous. Broncos is up there too, obviously, but yeah, we'll have a look at some team stats quickly. Ten line breaks to 1, 1,100 running metres to 1,800. Average set distance 29 metres. You're not going to be able to do much with that. 43 run metres per set for Penrith. Offloads 9 to 5. I actually didn't mind a few of the little offloads. I always thought Penrith should just add a few offloads into their game, like, because they are quite one-dimensional, the way they do their things. Like, it's a good way to play, like, ad-liv, like, outside your system's footy without taking a stupid risk. You know what I mean? If you hit the sweat, you win the contact. Mitch Kenny's right there. You've got an arm free, pop it out the back. He can spin it wide. If something doesn't happen, you're in the same position you're in anyway, sort of thing. So I think it's pretty nice for them. Tackle efficiency, 91%. Jesus Christ. Only 18 missed tackles for the Penrith Panthers. Made 12 errors. Definitely a few there. And only 5 penalties. So not too bad at all. Yeah, let's have a quick look at some player stats here from Penrith. I'm always interested to see how these guys go. Most fanny points, Luke Garner. Jesus Christ. Mitch Kenny, most tackles. Most run metres, 200. Dylan Edwards only ran for 200 metres. Average ass. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Dylan Edwards on a quiet night runs for 200. 2 line breaks, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist. Jesus Christ. 6 tackle breaks. Brian To'o, they were kicking to the other side like the plague. They would not have been able to handle him. Jesus Christ. Fisher Harris 177. I didn't know that, but yeah, I felt like he had a much better game. Let's have a look at some of these missed tackles, his tackle efficiency. 86. Mix Kenny 86, 40 tackles, 3 misses. Moses Leota 20 tackles, 1 miss. Jerome Lewis 16 with 1 miss. Actually not too bad out there. Fisher Harris 100%, 27 tackles, no misses, no ineffectives. Jesus Christ. Mitch Kenny will always miss a tackle or two, but he comes out line and there's missed tackles and then there's missed tackles. Like some guys they come out, put pressure on and they bounce a prop and make them change directions. Then they get swarmed and stuff like that. So not all missed tackles are the same, but yeah, wow, it's Penrith are looking scary, man. Penrith looking scary, especially with all the injuries of the other teams and stuff like that. Oh, Seagulls versus the Raiders. Now, I lost this punt. It was a bad beat. I had Turbo and Manly to win head-to-head. At half-time, 20-0. Or 20-6. I'm sitting there going, just count my money. But someone got mad at me for saying, because I made a thing, Seagulls through that game. I wasn't dissing the Raiders, but you should not lose a game like that when you're in the top 4. No offence to a Raiders team that has trouble scoring a little bit and also missing their half. Their genuine playmaker. You got a 19-year-old kid in the halves. You can't hold off a 14-point lead like that when you've got guys like Turbo and Cherry Evans and all these, like Luke Brooks, hectic forward pack. You shouldn't be letting that in. So that was more what I meant. It was 5 tries to 4, and I'm telling you guys, I've been saying this. What have I been saying? Goal kicking is going to decide a lot of games this year. 5 tries each, two conversions, 3 conversions. That's it. That's it, man. Kaya Weeks' boot won this one for him. So, yeah, you got to be on. Ruben Garrick absolutely murdered. I know he scored a couple tries, but yeah, his goal kicking was way off, man. There's some goal kickings that are just way off this year. Valentine Holmes is kicking like cheeks. Yeah, so I have to give Canberra props. Like, you're a good team. If you can come back against any team, 14 points and win, so like, I'm giving Canberra props. But one thing I will, they looked pretty bad for half the game, and they've looked not great. They need to find a way to get Tomoko more involved. They really do, man. He's an absolute handful. He's an absolute handful, and Manly just need to sort out their defence, man. They've turned into the Gold Coast Titans of last year, where they're just like, we'll try and outpoint you, bros. Like this is a good middle. These are good edges. Like, you got speed. You shouldn't be getting beaten on the edges here for pace. You got big middles that are agile, move laterally nice. You got good backups coming on. It's not like you're getting smoked when your bench comes on. Like, I don't know what's going on with the defence. Normally you can be like, this and that. I don't understand. Like, they've got they've got the Canberra Raiders covered just about everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And they got run down pretty poorly at home. Like, pretty poor effort, man. Pretty poor effort. Like, I think they'll be just fine. Like, to me, it's just a tweak or two, a thing that they're doing wrong, sort of thing, and that they should be just fine. But with how good their attack is, they're gonna pump a lot of teams by 40 this year. I really do think so. Let's have a look at some team stats, guys. Even possession, so it ended up being really even stats. 79% to 85%, guys. Both ran for 1,400 metres. Canberra won the post contact. Fuck, Tarpany, man. 3 line breaks to 1. Tackle breaks 23 to 25. Canberra won the ruck. What else we got here, guys? Tackle efficiency. Canberra tackled well, man. I felt like Manly missed more tackles than the Raiders, 35 to 23, but 35 is still not horrible. I mean, it's on the higher side, but yeah, Canberra just bloody didn't miss many tackles. 2 intercepts. What have we got? 3 penalties to 8. Jesus. And then 9 errors to 11. Yeah, wow. Let's have a look at some of these stats here, eh? Tom Travojevic got me a try. Bloody, I was spewing this didn't hit. Because I think I hit my Penrith one too, so I would have been 3 from 3. Turbo, try assist, line break assist, line break, 3 tackle breaks. 184 metres. Ruben Garrick. Bro, you got to pass, bro. Do you know how fast Sabi is? Got to pass, bro. Bloody Garrick. What else we got here, guys? Sebastian Chris, 199 metres. I rate Chrissy, man. He's like, just tries his ring off, eh? Just tries his absolute ring off. But yeah, like I said, Tomoko needs more than this, man. I need more from Tomoko, man. He's so hard to handle. He looks like one of the hardest dudes to tackle in the NRL, eh? Like, the amount of times he's just shrugged off big second rollers, props, big locks, and they're on their back. It's nuts. So they've got to definitely get him more involved, in my opinion, hey? Especially with, I don't know how you do it. Like, you give him that license to roam, but then he's just running in against forwards. Yeah, I don't know. Just shift it. Bulldogs do it quite well, because obviously Bulldogs have a smaller pack. They'll quite often just take a nice hard hit up, and if there's a quick play the ball, just shift it to their left. And you'll see kicks, just making gains onto Sherry, whatever, anything like that. Maybe they could do something like that. Just bang through the middle. The second you get a quick play the ball, shift, just go straight out to Tomoko. Maybe they can get some cheap points like that or something. But yeah, they've definitely got a few things to work on, the Raiders, but they're not done. They're still kicking. Onto the game of the round. Well, it was booked as game of the round. Absolute disaster for the Broncos. I want to talk about this one for a minute, guys. So, a lot of people saying, if Reynolds is gone, can they still win the comp? Blah, 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 blah. Now, it looks like... So, I just saw Fogarty on Matty John's show. So, his wasn't as bad, and his 12 weeks. The Broncos have sort of come out and said, yeah, it's going to be 12 to 13 weeks. He'll be back in round 23 or 24. That's best case scenario. So we'll do glass half full, glass half empty, because, like I said, I want the Broncos to go good because I like watching them play. They're literally one of my favourite teams to watch. Don't go for them or anything. Just I love watching them play. I think the comp's better when the Broncos are going good, man. You know, like it's, you know, good Queens. You need a good Queensland team, a good Sydney team. You know, you need that. You really do. You need the Warriors to go too good, so we've got a good New Zealand team kicking. But yeah, it's if we have a look at the draw, I mean, let me know, guys. What do you? Are Broncos done? Do you think they can win without Reynolds for all this time? So if we count all the way down to here, I mean, this is a lot of games they're missing. Luckily, they haven't had a bye yet, so that's 3 games he won't miss, if that makes sense. So let's go down here, round 23, 24. So he'll be back around here for the Cowboys game, possibly. Maybe even he'll come back around 20 and be right for the last 3 games, possibly. Yeah, could be a pretty tough run home, to be fair. Yeah, this is a lot of footy being missed. So to me, I know this sounds weird, but I think this weekend against Parramatta is a huge game for them. Just like, if they can jag 2 of these last 3 games, go into the bye, I think they'll be okay. Because let's look at this ladder, right? I think Broncos without Reynolds are still good enough to beat. And if I'm talking to you about your team, I'm not dissing you. I'm saying good enough to beat. I'm not saying will beat these teams. I think they can beat the Bulldogs down without Reynolds pretty comfortably. I mean, not comfortably, but you wouldn't be shocked if Broncos beat every single one of those teams. You know what I'm saying? So, and they do play a lot of those guys. Like they could easily beat the Bulldogs. They could beat the Raiders. They can beat the Cowboys. They can beat the Knights. They can beat the Eels. They can beat the Dragons. They can beat the Warriors. So I dare say they're going to be fine. Like they're good enough to stay where they are at the very least. My problem is, and this is glass half empty, I have to do a couple glass empties, because actually, honestly, man, I think they could probably even move up without Reynolds. They could possibly move up a spot or 2. Just being real. 2 things though, glass half empty. I don't think you can win the comp from outside the 4, so that's going to be tough. But Reynolds, older, will he recover like they think he's going to? He's not 25. He's nearly 35. Had a lot of injuries. Will he be ready by round 23? That's a little bit concerning. another thing I'm a little concerned about, I don't know if anyone noticed it, and he might have just been playing with the tape. Payne Haas was grabbing his knee a lot. He just kept touching it, and I don't know, he looked quiet to me. He got put on his back a little more to me. I know his knee swelled up after last game. He didn't play many, he played a lot of minutes. He played a lot of minutes for a prop, but especially when Broncos are losing, Kevy Walters just literally leaves Payne Haas on. And I was sitting there going, man, Payne Haas has been on the bench a long time, especially when they were starting to lose the game. How many minutes did? 59 minutes. That is low for Payne. In a game that a big game, that'd be well over 65. Yeah, just a little concerning there. I was like, is Payne's knee... Because this is the thing, right? I've been saying this. How old's Payne Haas now? I know he's still super young, but... 24. Payne came into the league when he was 18. And I kept saying this. I'm like Broncos were rubbish. Like, they were getting pumped all the time. And they just kept playing him for like 70 minutes. And he's getting pumped. They're losing by 24 points against a team that's like mid-pack or whatever. I'm like, this kid's your future. Why do you keep bashing him? Bring him off. Like, his knees, I promise you, aren't 24-year-old knees. Like, we look at Jason Tamalolo now. Like, he's, he's seen it now. Like, he's it's not like an injury. It's like cartilage, and it's just wear and tear. You know what I mean? And I don't think Payne's in anywhere near that position that Jason Tamalolo's in or anything like that. But to have something flaring up like that at that age, I can promise you his knees are much more damaged than a normal 24-year-old. Like, he has played a lot of footy in the middle, huge body. Like, just remember, guys, you're not supposed to be able to move like that when you're that big. Like, and people forget this sometimes. They think when guys are like superhuman and stuff like that, which he is, your joints aren't. Like, your muscles are. You got the big skull, you got the big, I know all my mates that are, I'm nothing like him, but you should see me under a bench press now. It's pathetic. I used to be able to, 180, no problem at all. Now I'll get under there. I feel like stuff's going to pop out and go. You know what I mean? Your joints aren't as good as... unfortunately, sometimes we get those superhuman muscles and that superhuman size. Your joints don't keep up, sort of thing. So pray and touch and wood that his knees are okay. It's just scary. He had surgery and he's still getting swelling after. That means something's not, like, obviously swelling's to protect something that's wrong there. That's what swelling is. So that's a little concerning for me. And this isn't a concern, but I think they'll be fine as well. I think they could almost even cover Payne. But and there's no problem with him. I'm just glass half empty. If Pat Carrigan happens to go down though for, like, let's say a 5 to 6, 7 week stint, I do think the Broncos are toast. All the little stuff, he is incredible, man. He is literally the glue of that team. He is so damn good. If he's on the park, if the rest of the guys are pretty healthy, I think they win enough games. I think they'll be just fine. But just everyone, if you're a Broncos fan, get down on your knees every night and pray to the footy gods that Carrigan stays healthy, and I think he'll play finals. I really do. And then, yeah, I think you'll be good. But all right, so Jesse Arthurs went down with a broken jaw in this one too, guys. That's a pretty big loss too. One of, I think, the things Broncos have been so good with this year is their edge speed. A winger jams in, their second rowers and their centres slide, and it's just so nice to watch. And like I said, I thought Corey Oates was a bit hard done by getting left out of the team, but I see why they did now. And so now they're going to have to bring someone else in to cover Jesse Arthurs. If it is Corey Oates, they will lose a little bit of that speed on the edge. But yeah, I would give Selwyn Cobbo a shout out. I so underestimated him. I just get so mad when people used to compare him to Greg Inglis. Still don't think he's anywhere near that good. But he is thriving in the centres. Hey, I really like him. I liked how Ezra Mann was playing both sides this time. I was always a little bit wondered about that. Like, is he just that locked-in left guy? It was nice to see him swing around both sides. Broncos, man. Right. Angus Crichton. I think it was Mick Innes. say, was it Jordan Ricky? But I've never been a huge Jordan Ricky fan. I always thought he's a little overrated. It's not because he's way better looking than me. I've just always thought he was just okay. Like, you know what I mean? This is the thing. Your team can't be stacked 1 to 13. You have to have a little bit. There's a salary cap, bro. You can't just have a full state of origin team. They were saying, Ricky's really going to test Angus Crichton. Angus Crichton gave Jordan Ricky an absolute bath in this. Like, he was Jordan Ricky's dad for this week. He absolutely bathed him and took him to school and dropped him off. Like it was a clinic. Like, I can't remember. Angus Crichton's a beast, but I actually can't remember him playing that good. So with all his mental health stuff and everything he had going on last year, shout out to you, bro. That was an absolute clinic. I was blown away, and I was so happy, just because, you know what I mean, someone that's gone through stuff like that myself. Absolutely brilliant, man. So, that was... Roosters' goal line defense I thought was much better. But yeah, this is the one problem Broncos do have, and it's obvious now, and I've been saying this since last year, so I don't think I'm just repeating what everyone else says, but yeah, just that obviously massive impatience from Reece. Now, the good thing about having Renault on the field, he obviously is the boss. Now, they obviously don't mind Reece throwing the ball around because he pulls a lot of stuff off. But the good thing about having Renault in the team, which is going to be a thing, is he knows when to pull the trigger and when not. And even though he might give Reece a bit of a free rein to pull it more than he would other players, he knows when to say, no, give me the ball. I'm booting it into that corner and we're going to tackle our rings off. You know what I mean? And we'll get them next time. Renault has that really good balance to that, where we saw Reece this game just trying to win it every play. So that'll be a tough thing. And just Broncos just really no ability to get into the grind, especially without Adam Reynolds there. I've just written that down. Broncos have no ability to get in the grind. They don't really suit that grind. Like, they don't have those, like the Sharks or the Penrith Panthers. They'll just, those big back five just roll through you, boot it into a corner. Let's see if you can hold it. Bang, bang, bang. Kick it down. Edwards runs for 40 metres. Bang, bang, bang. No real ability to do that. And that's cool. Like, not everyone has to play like Penrith. But I thought there was a point at this game where getting into the grind for 8 or 9 minutes would have really done them well. Error. Trying to spin the ball. Yeah, it was just not good. So Broncos have a tall task ahead of them, but I think they've got the cattle there to do it. Just praying, like I said, Broncos fans, get on your knees and pray that Payne Haas's knee is okay and Pat Carrigan stays healthy. Pat Carrigan's at that nice age though. Like he didn't get. That's the thing. Like, Pat wasn't playing 60, 75 minutes when he was 18 years old. Or maybe probably was at Q Cup, but you get what I'm saying. Like, not these big high impact games like Payne was. I hadn't seen anything like Payne coming on the scene at that young. It was insane, absolutely insane. I've seen props come in and almost be as good as him right away. 'Cause it's not like he was at his absolute peak of his powers right away, but they were 23 or something, not 18. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, all right, so we'll have a look at the team stats quickly, see what went wrong there. See, the actual completion rate wasn't that bad. It was more, like I said before, there's missed tackles and there's missed tackles. There's errors and then there's errors. There's errors of, like, the timing of the error can be bad sometimes. So yeah, the completion rate's right where it normally is for the Broncos. I mean, they got 40 sets, completed 32 of them. I mean, Roosters only completed one more set. Won the post contact, but yeah, this sees line breaks. Let's go down and see these missed tackles from the Broncos. Only 37, felt like more, and only 31 for the Roosters. That's pretty damn good. 10 errors to 13. Like I said, we need to keep that under 10. But I'll tell you what, with Renault out, I'm excited just to watch the Broncos because they're without any, well, not the boring stuff. I like the boring stuff too, but just how hectic it's going to be with Reece Walsh and Ezra Mann running the show. It's going to be sick. Pat Carrigan, 213 metres and 90 posts. He's a freak. Like I said, I watched the Isaiah Yo game and I'm like, he's the best lock ever, man. He's so good. And then I watched this game and I just go, what the hell, man? Pat Carrigan's a freak. I've got to go see him, actually. Well, not see him. I got Pat Carrigan's game jersey from the Carl Webb game. I've got to get him to sign it. I'm going to frame her up Or what's it? I want to see Pat Carrigan's tackle numbers. So let's see what Payne. So Payne Haas. Hang on. So 28 tackles made, 3 ineffective, but he's only 90%. So is an ineffective mean a missed tackle? I thought you only lost percentage if he had a missed tackle. So he hasn't missed a tackle. He's just had 3 inefficients. Or is an inefficient where you grab them, they sort of spin out of it, but then someone else grabs them? Maybe that's what I don't know. I don't actually know the definition of an inefficient tackle. So if anyone knows, can help us out. With 28 tackles, 1 missed, 2. Yeah, he's a freak, Paddy, man. Absolutely love watching him play, eh? Let's have a look, see what Teddy did, eh? Teddy playing for his jersey. 260 metres, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, 9 tackle breaks. Suoliti, 238 metres, 76 post contact, 1 line break, 1 try assist, 3 tackle breaks. Dom Young, that's a hectic back 5, man. Absolutely insane. Wow. Roosters looking good, man. Roosters looking real good. Shout out to Connor Watson too. I thought he looked good. And just, seriously, bro. Lindsay Collins, so good. Oh, man. It was just... Tyrrell May just killed it with my Supercoach team. Connor Watson came on. Just, I love what he did. He just came on. He's just a good player, man. Every team needs a Connor Watson in it. Oh, man. All right, bros. You know me, man. You know me by now. When do I ever talk about the refs? Never. This Casey Badger chick, has no business ref in NRL games. If you want to do cup, if you want to coach under 16s, go, love. But you're a terrible ref. Like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years now. I've never given a ref a bath before. She was shocking. Like, she was absolutely shocking. Do you know how you know they're shocking? There was 7 captain's challenges and 6 of them were right. Teams never get these right, man. Like, and there was just some of the... she could not control the game. She was getting sprayed and, like, she can't control the game. And like I said, it's nothing to do with her being a chick. She can't. She's not good enough. I watched the chick after. The blonde one, I can't remember her name. She made a bunch of bad calls too. But she controlled the game. You know what I mean? This chick she's awful. Like, she's... Like, David Clemmer got sent off for... Like, I did not care. The care factor for this game for me was 0. Like, absolute 0. I couldn't care less who won this game. I was screaming at the TV for both teams. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, how the fuck... You know what I mean? For like, some terrible calls the Bulldogs made against them. Then I'm screaming at her again for bad calls for the... I'm just sitting there going... And I have 0 care for... I can only imagine what it would have been like to be one of the... Like, fans of one of these 2 teams. It's absolutely ridiculous, mate. She's shocking. So shocking. There was one that was just the most... who was it? Oh, Kikau gets tackled around his legs. Papali'i's standing there with his hands by his side. Not even make... He slides into... He slides into Papali'i's knees. She called a head-high tackle. He didn't even make it. How can you head-high tackle someone when you're just standing there? And then she's like, "Oh, you want it? Do you want to review it?" Yeah, I want to review it. Like, I was standing there. I couldn't believe she was awful. Like, I'm telling you now, I'm giving Clemmer props. Like, everyone's bagging him, saying, "How dare he do?" I would have been sent off 10 minutes into that game spraying her. She was terrible, mate. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm all about equality, so I'm gonna treat her like I would have treated the blokes. Because if a bloke reffed a game like that, I would have sprayed him too. That was absolutely awful. Look, Bulldogs good. Good. No, not much better than that. Just good. I thought the score reflected the game. I thought Bulldogs were a bit better. They got Penrith next week. Let's just say they're going to have to lift. They're going to have to lift for this one. This could get ugly. Like, they're a little slow coming out of the blocks. What was the first try to? Yeah, that was the first try to Charlie Staines. That does happen coming off a bye sometimes. They were good. Carraz was brilliant. Sherry was brilliant. Crichton was good. But again, just 7 carries before the end of the game. You know, I mean, with 10 minutes to go, I heard them say it in the broadcast. Crichton for his 7th run. I'm like, there's 10 minutes to go in the game. Why has he only had 7 runs? Look, Drew Hutchison's a good footy player. I just don't think he's a real good number 7. I love Kurt, man. He was brilliant. Kicks did his job. Sam Hughes might be on the sideline for a while for pushing that same ref. Even that, she just stood in the line, like got in his way. Like, he should not have touched her. That was out of line. He should have been sent off for that, to be fair. But you can't be shoving refs, man. Curran came on and I like this kid, Bailey Howard. Curtis Moran, good little thing. And Preston didn't get on the park. And Tigers just not quite there, Not quite there. I think they're missing Tupou on that edge. Caesar's going to be gone for a while with a hip drop. Stefano, I've been keeping a close eye on him just because of Origin. I don't know if he's him, How old is he? We talked about Payne Haas before. I mean, he's 23. He's the same age as Payne. He's not... Yeah, Payne's got him beat for sure, man. They're not close, to be honest. Let's have a look at some stats here, guys. 1,600 to 1,300. So, look, this isn't great, but when you restrict the other team to 1,300, it's fine. 4 line breaks each, 32 tackle breaks, 38 tackle breaks. Average set distance, 42. That'll do. 7 offloads to 12. What else we got here, guys? Nothing else too crazy. Missed tackles, 38. Not too bad. Now, I thought the Tigers did expose something here from the West Tigers, and they're going to have to be careful here. They're playing Penrith next week. It mightn't matter. But I've been really impressed with the Doggies, the way they've been defending, right? And because they're a smaller team, physically, like a smaller bodies, they've been getting 3 guys in the tackle real nice. But obviously, when you do that, you really compress your line up real tight. And Tigers in the first set went but just 2 part. Like, it wasn't I wouldn't even call it. Well, it was a shift. It wasn't like a deep, crazy, slick shift. It was just pass, and they got around the Bulldogs, who have a nice edge, like really easily. So they're just going to have to be careful with that. I mean, it's all good to you compress your line up and smack blokes 3-on-1, but that has to leave you short somewhere, and a good offloading team, hit, spin, boop, out to an edge, they'll be around you. So doggies have to find that balance of compression, but also being able to slide. But yeah, it was good. Like I said, they've been gang tackling really well. Tigers 2 sin bins there, but yeah, we'll have a quick look at the stats. I thought Karaz was really good, to be honest. Probably his best game since last year. I thought he was really good last year. I've been a little bit disappointed with him this year. He's been good, but nothing crazy. 7 tackle breaks, 165 metres, 54 post contact. Fox real quiet in this one. Blake Taft was all right. Yeah, it was just good. I wasn't overly sold on that. I definitely think the Bulldogs have played better in other games. Storm Titans. Oh, how sad was it watching Ryan Papenhuyzen go off, bro? So upsetting, man. Melbourne absolutely dominating this game. 4 tries in the first half. Looking slick. And then they leaked 2. But it still looked... In that first half, there was not a skerrick of my mind that thought that Titans were going to come close. I was just like, Titans are good at scoring tries. Like, they're going to score a couple of tries. Storm are going to score 7. They're going to score 3 or 4. Like, that's what I sort of thought. And Paps goes down, and Jesus Christ, I did not realise, like, he is such a difference maker for them, eh? Like, it's actually insane. Like, he's so good, man. Yeah, it's actually insane how good he is. It's mind blowing. Because I sort of get sometimes, like, there's parts of his game that I don't think are quite as good as they were before I get injured, and there's things he does in his game that I think other fullbacks do way better. But for the Melbourne Storm, he works so good for that team. It's just absolutely insane. Look, while we hit this one, we had Money Munster. Just on this one, guys, always put a punt down if it's a club legend for a big game like this one, like Cam Munster's 200th. Obviously, I put money on him to score a try, and for Melbourne to win, which just got home. But yeah, just know that, as you saw from Munster's try, Paps could have just dived over the line. He passed it to Munster because of his 200. So just know that you've got that little edge there. They will look for the milestone men in these games, guys, especially if they're like a legend like Finucane, or was it Cherry Evans got one last year on his 300th, and if they're a genuine club legend, and that's a big milestone, 200, 250, 300 or whatever, put him in as a try scorer. You'll hit more than you miss. Trust me. We hit plenty of them. So, it was just unfortunate. AJ has to be their fullback. We've been saying this since last year. Anyone that's been following me for a while, he is the best fullback at the Gold Coast Titans. He's just got to be there. It's unfortunate for Jaden Campbell. He's a better fullback than Jaden Campbell. Jaden Campbell's awesome, but AJ's better. It just is. That happens sometimes. It just really does. It was so gutsy from the Titans, though. I mean, Tanner Boyd goes down early as well. Kieran Foran playing off his head. I mean, think about this. They're playing Melbourne in Cam Munster's 200th, and they nearly squeaked a win home. That's insane. So, shout out to the Titans, man. They did get sorted. There was a bad reffing call at the end. People like they got robbed. That's not a robbery to me. It was a bad call. But a robbery's like they were scoring and it got pulled back for something that didn't happen or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it robbed us of a grandstand finish, but we don't know if Titans were going to go down and score, so it's not really it robbed us, not them. It robbed them of a chance to win, I guess you could say, but definitely didn't rob them of the win. But this Fa'alongo kid too, in his second game, where is he? Oh, he came onto the wing, didn't he? Jesus Christ. He moves like Reece Walsh, man. That try where he went inside, outside, I thought he ruined it. I was like, oh, what's he done? He's gone in... Oh, never mind. Bro knows what he's doing. For his second game to turn someone inside out like that was... Like I said, some people just move different. He's one of them. He just moves different. And I liked it too because I think some of the smaller guys... Like I said, I've been watching a lot of footwork drills and gridiron stuff like that. A lot of smaller guys, when they step, they really slow down. If you watch Reece's stuff, Reece doesn't... Well, he does step. He can step, obviously. But when Reece... the reason why Reece is so good, he doesn't so much step. It's more he changes direction. I know it sounds stupid, but a step, you like dig in and step sideways. So that's so much slower. The reason why Reece is able to break through the line so easily, it's actually just a slight change of direction. And Fa'alongo has it. It's actually harder than it looks. Pardon me. There's not many players that just change direction at full speed. Dylan Brown can do it, Reece can do it, Val Holmes can do it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, how do you do that? Ponga can do it, and Fa'alongo can do it. He's sharp, man. So Pap's out. I don't know if he's going to go in at fullback here. Shout out to the Titans, man, showing some really nice backbone. And Jesus Christ, they don't want to lose. Don't want to lose Fafita, seriously. Look at that head. I cannot believe he's still only 24. I really like Bloor and Katoa. I think Melbourne, if they do get Pappenhausen back, I was at half-time, I was sitting there going, man, Melbourne might win the comp, man. They might win the comp. Like, they look so good. Paps is getting back to his best. They've now got some good, sharp second rows that are just hitting and can score tries. I'm like, they got everything. They got everything other than like a top shelf lock. Like, that's all I think they're missing. You can't have everything. And then Paps goes down. Man, that sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. But anyway, I've looked some team stats here. How'd we go? Good completions from the old Titans. Ran for more metres. Got more post contact. Average set distance better. I mean, this is all good positive stuff for the Titans. Remember, this is Melbourne Storms trying to get a win for Cam Munster's 200th. They did that against this. And people go, well, Paps went down. Their halfback went down earlier. You know what I mean? So this is a really good performance from the Titans. I felt like Melbourne were missing a lot of tackles, 43 missed tackles. But this is one of those ones, yeah, they missed some tackles. But I felt it was like Titans made them miss as well. It wasn't just like Melbourne were just like missing tackles. Like Titans were running hard. The edges were nice. Who's that? Who was that? Is it Philip Sammy? Yeah, Philip Sammy. He was murdering them. Absolutely murdering them. Where was that? Here, sorry. So 21 missed tackles. That's great. That's so good. You got guys like Pappenhausen, Farlongo, Warbrick, Munster in your team, and you're playing against it, and you only miss 21 tackles. That is brilliant. 10 errors each. Penalties conceded 7-4. So, yeah, brilliant effort from the Titans. And Melbourne, Jesus Christ, I hope Paps... It was a little bit weird too. I don't know if you saw the way Paps went down, because I knew it was something different straight away. They're like, it's a high ankle sprain. I'm like, that was not a high ankle sprain. So, just the way... See, when he put his foot on the ground, it was clearly a shooting pain, because he lifted his leg up straight away and dropped like he'd been shot. So that's a shoot. Like, it feels like something shot you. It's not like, when you press on your foot and you've sprained your ankle and the pain sort of eases in. You're like, like... When he grabbed his foot off the ground in like he'd been shot and hit the ground, I was like, that's something to do with his broken ankle, like the plate or something had either snapped or something around the plate had snapped or cracked, and that's what it was. So I don't know what that means, but not good, eh? Not good. I mean, like, if there's something wrong with the plate, that requires surgery, right? I mean, any surgery is 4 weeks off footy, so. Yeah, I hope he's okay, man. And I was just... Poor dude, bro. It's a cruel sport sometimes, eh? It really is. Absolute cruel sport. All right, let's get on the Cows and the Dolphins. Oh, man. Bloody Cowboys. Bloody Cowboys. I tipped them. I'm like, they're not going to... I mean, Kyle Felt scores, Ruben Cotter scores, and I'm sitting there going, this is going to be 60-0. They're looking brilliant. And I'm so happy. I've been getting harassed by Cowboys supporters lately, thinking I'm bagging them because I hate them or something. The reason why I'm bagging them is because I love them. I love watching them play. They're literally... Them and the Broncos are my two favourite teams to watch. But when you're being cheeks, it pisses me off because I want to watch you at your best. I mean, you got a full house up in Dairy Farmers. You're on a 3-game skid and you let the Dolphins without Gilbert, without Flegler, without Herbie, without Hammer, without... Kenny Bronwich, come on, bros. I know you had a player out or two as well, but come on, man. That's just like, to me, like, this my thoughts on their performance was Cows looked like the best team in the comp for 9 or 10 minutes. Their other 2 tries, so this Nanai one and this McIntyre one, they were flukes. Like, that was just what's his name, the fullback. Fuller, is it? Yeah, Fuller. Just absolutely, literally just dropped the ball up. And so these 2 tries up here, they were fluke. Like, they shouldn't have got those. So, technically, it was 2 tries to 5. Well, with you know what I mean? With, from the 9-minute mark, from the 6-minute mark. And then this one was a great try, the Nanai one. That was a good team try. But, it was actually... They were pretty bad for a really large chunk of this game. But it just really pissed me off. I just want the Cowboys to be good. And this was at home too. Like, the Cowboys do have the deficiencies away from home as well. So, I mean, who they got? They've got like I said, I think I said last week, they've got a soft month. And this is one of the games that was meant to be a soft game. And, I said they've got to win at least 3 of these because they're going to lose players over Origin. They're going to lose, you know what I mean? They've got a pretty hard run home as well. Like, they need to bank 3 wins out in the next month, and then they go out and drop their first one. I mean, let's have a look. Have a look at the Cowboys. All right, so they've got the Titans. Titans are no pushover anymore, and it's away. They've got the Rabbitohs and then the Tigers without Caesar. So, like I said, a pretty easy month. Like I said, they needed to get 4 of these because it gets harder after that, you know what I mean? They start getting the Roosters, Cows, Penrith, Manly, you know what I mean? Like Sharks. Like, they've got some tough games down here. So, yeah, they've got to get on their bike and start jacking some wins because, you don't want to They were lucky they jagged a few wins at the start of the year that they could have lost, which really helped them, to be honest, because they're only sitting, ninth? Like, they're 10th. They're fine. Like, where they are right now is fine. It's just more that they've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Well, there you go. Yeah, so they're 1 in 4. Having 4 wins and 5 losses this time of the year is fine. It's more that they've lost 4 in a row. That's the more scary part, sort of thing. Luckily, they haven't had too many hidings, so their for and against is still salvageable. It's not too far off, sort of thing. So, yeah, but Cowboys, just get your finger out, bros. I want to watch. You're bloody good to watch. Bloody good to watch. Apparently, Tuolangi might be back next week. Bloody Jeremiah Nanai is a monster. It's good to see Lukey back on the field too. And this dude here needs to get more minutes. This McKelly, he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I just can't wait to see the Dolphins get back to full strength. I really can't. Like, I hope they do well this year, man. Like I said, they're doing such a good job up there in North Brisbane. Such a good job. All the community spirit down there. They've really built out a really good thing. Like I said, there's kids down there that want to be Dolphins. It's just, I never would have thought I'd seen a day where a kid in the junior Broncos, well, not junior, but junior Broncos pathways wants to go to the Dolphins just for no reason other than he thought it was cool. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, let's move on to the next one, lads. Jesus Christ. Knights get it done. All right, so Knights are really good in the wet. I don't remember their last game in the wet. They were really good in that too. All right, we'll go to the Knights first. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year, Kalen Ponga went out it was for a while for it. It was for head knock, though. Just let me get some energy first. That's when the Knights turned their corner. Everyone's like, Kalen Ponga. Of course, Kalen Ponga helped, bro. Played off his head. But Knights played really good footy without him. They became a footy team. Before that, they were like, Kalen, do something. It's like under 10s where you just pass to your best player. They actually started playing really good footy, and Kalen Ponga was the cherry on top because they were already playing good footy. Kalen Ponga on top. They win 10 games in a row, make a semi. Or the one before the semi, I think it was. Great. You know what I mean? They could do that again this year. Like I said, when Kalen Ponga went down, everyone's like, they're gone for the season, that's it. I'm going to give them one more week. And they won. And then this week, I'm going to give them one more week. Okay, they won. All right, we're back. You know, we're back in business sort of thing. They're looking okay. You know, they're up into 11th now. Like I said, same win-loss as the Cowboys. Win or 2 out of the top 8. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how long Kalen Ponga's out for. But if they can just steady the ship, you know what I mean? If it is 8 weeks or whatever. Like I said, there's a lot of buys over the origin period. So sometimes someone can be out for 8 weeks, but you only miss 5 actual games. Sort of thing. So, you'll have to wait and see. I actually have completely spaced how long Ponga is out for. So if anyone knows, let us know. But yeah, they look like a better team with him. Like, I'm not saying, when I say a better team, I mean like they play better as a team when he's out. They're obviously a better team with him in. But, yeah. I don't think they need to play through Ponga as much as they do. But still play through him a lot because he's awesome. Warriors has just been awful, bro. Like, they just can't score. Like, 176 points scored all year. So, like, it's not horrendous, but I mean, the Bulldogs have pretty bad attack, and you're almost there. They've played, like, the Bulldogs have played one less game than you as well. Like, as soon as you're in the top 8, you're in the 200s pretty dramatically. They just can't score. This is what I noticed tonight. I've been saying this the last 2-3 weeks, right? So, pretty boring conventional set. Sean Johnson kicks to a corner. Cool, that's fine. Like I said, that's very Penrith. It's very playing the percentage, all that stuff. Marju takes a hit up. Relatively quick play the ball. Brammer Best takes a hit up. Can't hold him. Penalty. What was the point in that playing that percentage if you're just going to give away a yardage penalty? And they did it about 4 times last week. Didn't do it as much this time. But it's just like, if you're going to give penalties and be all disciplined, like you'd better off not playing the percentages. Just hoof it and try and score a try. Because otherwise, you're not going to get points. Because obviously, if you play conservative and don't put an attacking kick up, you can't score points. And then you give a penalty, so now they've got a chance to score points. So you've literally just gone from oh shit! Sorry, one sec. Warriors make me passionate. You've just gone from good attacking position to giving them good attacking position, possibly scoring on you. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. If you're going to play those percentages, you have to be so disciplined. Dude, I must have breathed something in there. But yeah, just not good. It's just, but this is the thing. I said it about the Seagulls as well. They're not playing horrible. Like, to me, they're playing better than 14th. This is the thing. It could just be a little tinker, and then it's all good. DWZ is so good in the air. One attacking kick to him. It's just not enough, man. I knew they were done in this game. On their first attacking opportunity, they swung right. DWZ had an overlap. They hit forward short. They're in that mood again. They're just playing that. And this is the thing too, especially in the wet. Like, they try to play wet weather footy. Like, those short balls to second rows close to the line, like, they're hard to catch in the dry. Like, I don't know. I didn't like the way they played. Like I said, I'm not bagging them. I actually think they're not as. Everyone's like, they'll get the wooden spoon. I actually think they're not too far off. If they just tinker with a few things, they got a 5-6 game win streak for sure. Like, I genuinely think they can beat any team on the day. But they got to find it and find it fast, because all of a sudden, 1-3, not good. Who have they got next week? Roosters. Doesn't get any easier for them, so that's going to be tough. And like I said, I just said Johnson's kicking. I've just written Johnson way too conservative, and then like Johnson's kicking game. He just kept kicking it and turning it over, and then it was just, I don't know, like, you got DWZ in the air, like, just go for like, just not every time, just 1 in every 3 times or something, 1 in every 4 times, just drop it a metre or 2 shorter so DWZ can attack it or something. I don't know, just too conservative, bro, way too conservative. But that's the thing, like, the cool thing about it is so fixable. It is so fixable. Like I would not be surprised in 8 weeks' time if we're talking about the Warriors and on their 5th or 6th game that they've won in a row. I'm not writing them off at all. But if they just keep playing the way they're playing, they're probably going to lose 2 games, win 1, lose 2, win 1. That's just a little tinker. Yeah. So we'll have to. Where are we up to? Warriors Knights. Oh yeah. So we'll have a look at some team stats. So both completed at 80%. Ran for more meters. Just 1 line break. Like, you got so much in your team. 1 line break. And this is the thing too. Like Knights' defense is cheeks. Like, especially their left side. So. I think it was, don't quote me on these exact numbers, but I think Knights leak 44% of their points on their left side, so it's upside down, which is Warriors' right side, which scores the most points, and where they get all their line breaks, nothing was on. There was that tackled in the air thing, but I mean, I had money on DWZ, and I know it's wrong, but they never give those as penalty tries. I wish it was, because I would have won money. I'm not against you, but they don't give those as penalty tries for some reason. But yeah, anyway. Both defended well, 91 and 92%. 25 missed tackles, 33. Relatively high quality game, to be fair. Like, it was a little hard to get into though. But yeah, I thought Chance just looked a step slow. DWZ looked a little odd. Didn't get enough carries. Rocco Berry. Yeah, I mean, Roger looks good, but Montoya's start to the game was brilliant. This is the thing too with Tamari Martin. Love him. I did not hear his name get called until the 67th minute. It was just Johnson. Like I said, we were worried about him this year. I'm like, even if he has a good year this year, like, can he be as good as last year? And he definitely hasn't been. AFB can hold his chin up. Barnett can hold his chin up. And this is the other thing that really worries me about the Warriors. Wade Egan goes down 2-3 times a game or something. Jackson Ford's good. Capewell just looks off to me. I know he did his calf today. Big effort from Dylan Walker. I thought he was good. Bunty Afoa was pretty solid as well. But yeah, I thought Hetherington looked incredible. I thought he looked good. This Dylan Lucas was good. Kai Paul Pierce was good. Gagai was brilliant. That was Origin Gagai. He was absolutely enormous. And this kid's good, man. David Armstrong. Bright future, that kid. Real nice. Let's have a look at some of our player stats quickly, guys. We're nearly done here. We're nearly done. So I'm going to have a look at this David Armstrong kid's stats. 61 metres? Felt like it was more than that. No, surely not. I'm sure he ran for more than that. Greg Marju, 81. Nothing crazy here. Nothing crazy, lads. What else? Shortly C&K put up some numbers. 168. Yeah, nothing. Look at that. Just look at this from the Warriors, bro. Like, here's all your good stuff. Line breaks, assist, try, 6. Lines engaged. Just duck eggs everywhere. Tohu Harris, the only one. Dylan Walker. That's... Wow. Look, conditions weren't great, but... Come on, bros. You're from New Zealand. Yeah. All right. No more New Zealand bashing. They're going to come back. They're going to bounce back next week. It's coming. All right. Sharkies, Dragons. Sloppy, wet game. That's all I've written down. And then I fell asleep. Yeah, Sharks were good, but not great. Without being great, they've been great. I just thought they were okay. Just Tom Hazelton's damn near top 10 prop in the game at the moment. I thought he was brilliant. Oregon Kafusi's first stint was great. Really like Teague Wilton. I'm actually really liking Talakai off the bench. Because they bring him, like, sometimes they bring on bench players and they don't use them. When I say don't use them, they don't really run stuff for them. They're just coming on just to be there. When Sifa comes on, they run plays for him and stuff. I like it. Like, it gives real different looks. They ran, when he came on, 2 or 3 tries. Did he score 1 or 2? He scored 1. He must have nearly scored another one. I'm pretty sure he got over maybe even 3 times and got held up or whatever. But I really like that. I feel like sometimes bench players come on and they're just taking up minutes so their starters can get back on. I really like the way he used Sifa. Really, really liked it. Dragons for me, look, Ben Hunt was awful in this. In a wet, sloppy game, I really thought Ben Hunt would stand up. Some of his kicks, getting caught on the 5th with the game on the line, I just wasn't a huge fan of what he did. I just don't understand why you just, not every time, but just bombed Zach Lomax, bro. He's gonna, you bomb to him 5 times, you're getting a try. Like, but if you bomb to him only once or twice, you might not. Like, but he will take the ball off someone and score a try at some point if you just get the kick right for Zach Lomax. I thought Sloaney's not good in the wet, but Jaden Sewell was solid. I thought Blake Laurie was not too bad either. Just don't quite have the soldiers yet, the Dragons. I didn't think they just didn't look good in the wet. I thought Sharkies didn't look great either, but it's a win. It's a 10-point win against a team that was really trying to beat you. The coach really got them up for it. And it was just, like I said, it was a little hard for me to watch, lads. I mean, this 8th game of the round really has to be pretty good for me to care. So I was then a little doze off there. But let's have a look at some team stats here. 83% in the wet. Like I said, it's good. It's good. Ran 1,700 metres to 1,600 from the Dragons. Post-contact rate. 7 line breaks to 3. Brilliant. 41 tackle breaks to 32. Brilliant. What else we got here? tackle efficiency 88. That's good from both teams, man. Missed tackles 32, great from the Sharkies. 42, a little high for the Dragons. Negative plays 10. I mean, that'll do. To 12 for the Dragons. A few too many. Yeah, it's not much else. I mean, Sharkies look good, man. And this is the sort of sucky thing. We said this about the Sharks last week. I mean, I was really looking forward to see if they were going to be pretenders or, because like they've been whooping. I mean, it sounds bad, but these teams actually aren't that bad. Like, people are giving them trash, but like, it's pretty disrespectful to call the Raiders a bad team. Like, they're actually all right. They're coming 10th. Cowboys are coming, 9th or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But everyone's like, oh, they can't beat top teams, which they're all right. You know, they haven't beat Penrith or Melbourne yet. And then we've got this run, because this is how, I've said it before, this is how you find out whether a team's legit. When they get 3 top sort of 4 teams, or top 4 quality teams in a row, because this is what you have to do to win the comp. You have to finish in the top 4, and you have to beat 3 top 4 teams in a row. Like, if you can't do that, you just don't even bother going to the grand final. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, we can beat Penrith on our day. Yeah, but can you beat Melbourne, and then the week after beat Brisbane, and then the week after beat Penrith? Probably not. That's what most teams, like, I don't think they realise how hard it is to win the comp. Like, that is hard to do. Like some teams, you know, I hear people talking about their team, you know, maybe their team creeps into the 8 and they're like, yeah, we can need a... I'm like, bro, you haven't beat... You've beaten one top 4 team all year. You haven't won 3 games in a row all year. Like, how are you going to win the comp? Like, and then all of a sudden you got... And if you do it from outside the 8, you've got to beat 4 teams in a row. So it makes it even harder. So yeah, I was really looking forward to this test from the Sharkies, because they were going to go Storm, Roosters, Penrith. Like, that could be their run into the grand final. Like, this could literally be the teams they play in the semi-finals to like win the comp. Like, they could literally have to play Storm round 1, Roosters round 2, and then Panthers in the grand final. So if they could go bang, 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 all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, Sharkies are legit. If they win 2 of these 3 games, you're like, okay, like, it's not legit, but that's pretty solid. That's not bad at all. And if they only win 1, you're like, okay, same old Sharkies. So I was really looking forward to this stint, and unfortunately Pappenhausen went down, so we're not going to see what they look like against a full-strength Melbourne Storm, which is a bit of a bummer. But anyway, we'll still get to see them against these 2 teams back-to-back, so... Pretty excited. All right, guys, let's have a look at next week's games real quick, and then we'll go. We'll get the hell out of here. All teams and round 10. Dolphins, Seagulls. Jesus Christ. I would have taken the Seagulls without even a thought not long ago, but I don't know anymore. Dolphins are in the top 4. That is insane. It's up in Brizzy too. Wow. Panthers versus the Doggies. Penrith Jr. Can little brother beat big brother? Eels versus the Broncos. This is a huge game. I mentioned this before. Broncos, if Broncos can win this, they're good, man. They're good. Parramatta are literally paying for their season. Like, if Parramatta lose this, they're done. They're not playing finals. And no Mitch Moses. Still no Reynolds. So it's not like Parramatta have a huge advantage. Look at that price. Even without Reynolds... That's wild, man. Wonder what the line is for there. Might be worth taking the line. West Tigers versus the Knights. Dragons versus the Rabbits. This is a hard round to pick, man. This is a hard round to pick. Storm versus Sharkies. Roosters versus the Warriors. Titans versus the... This is a... Wow, this could be a 2 or 3 game. This is such a hard round to pick. Oh my God. Alright, so I'm certain about the Panthers winning. But am I even that certain? But relatively certain. The rest of these games... Right. You have to take some outsiders in this one. For sure. Alright, guys, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.